needed, you know?
Yeah.
It's just that's sad to me that her OnlyFans increased after that.
$10,000, bro.
That's sad. Like honestly, I'm literally frustrated right now.
I put on the
My day's ruined. Can we do something fun?
like this too, like from
That's
a business
crazy.
perspective, because some people try to criticize us. Oh, you guys talk about simps, whatever, blah blah blah, and you bring girls on to have OnlyFans. We look at it like now, like listen, you guys are gonna simp anyway. At least simp on our girls. That we you know what I'm saying? Let's keep it a stack. You guys want to simp on girls? Because here's the thing: these dudes, they'll talk smack in the chat, whatever it may be, but only a portion of them come when we talk about fitness or dating or whatever it may be. But when we have girls on, 10,000 plus. So a lot of them aren't like real supporters. They're just there to like look at the girls.
We have the tapes. We have the information.
Now, this high value man, we know who has popularized the term, Mr. Kevin Samuels, right?
And why I say that a man who knows he wants to get married can be married in 6 months. That's what you're asking.
Okay.
And that's the thing is, if men decide they want to get married and decide to go looking for a wife, and you already are looking for the woman that fits you.
Right.
So if you see that today we are more connected than ever before.
That's right.
You want to know about a woman, get her social security number, get her driver's license, and run a background
There you
check
go.
on her. Then after that, if it comes back clear, you can vet a woman thoroughly. But at the end of the day, I'm not trying to find love. I'm trying to find minimum risk and maximum outcome.
There you go. And you can find minimum risk and maximum outcome in 6 months or less.
Goddamn right.
That's the difference. That's the difference. Yeah, if you're looking for love, if you're looking for companionship, it's going to take you quite a while to thoroughly vet a woman. But if you're looking for a woman who's attractive enough to keep you satisfied in the bedroom, have enough utility to help you outside of the bedroom, it doesn't really take very long.
Not going to screw me. Here's what it's going to look like financially.
Typically, the honeymoon phase, which is where everything's all lovey-dovey, you're so infatuated with each other, there's no real argumentation. Is that a word? You're not really argumentative with each other, right? That can last between 6 to 18 months. So at the very least, 6 to 18 months is about what, a year and a half? At the very least, wait about a year and a half. But more for best results, I think it makes more sense anywhere from 3 to 5 years. That's a good, a good barometer. If you're still vibing with someone after 3 or 5 years, I think you probably are probably compatible. But obviously, there's a lot of, it's not just the years, right? It's also how they're treating you in those years that you guys are spending together, right? So, you see a lot of people online, a lot of people in the red pill community, or just dating advice sometimes in general. People will say, focus on yourself, and the girls will come. My dad has said that to me in the past as well. And in theory, it makes sense, right? But oftentimes, the skills you are developing to make money don't always necessarily translate to the skills needed to be successful in dating.
My life together, I ain't got no time to argue with y'all. I already know how niggas be on the internet.
Right? This is why you might see guys who are obese, right? But make a lot of money. Okay? Or guys who are fit, but don't make a lot of money. So they're not, sometimes they can be mutually exclusive. They don't always overlap with each other. So if you're just ignoring women all the time, you see them on the train station, at the mall, grocery store. You basically, those ones where they say, don't think about a pink elephant? The more someone says it, the more you begin to think about it. So you're going to go to all these different places, ignore women, be on your purpose, and then your dating skills will get rusty. And then by the time you are a high value man, quote unquote, right? Now you're a target.
I thank God that I was blessed to be a thinking man. I thank my ancestors that I was blessed to be a thinking man. Because I didn't even know that this was going on.
You've never had experience talking to beautiful girls or girls in general, and you've never seen signs, right? Especially, for example, when they are flaking on you back to back, dead it. when they any type of resistance, when it comes to planning, listen, bro. Listen. I be in these dating streets. Any type of little resistance, I'm quick to cut off, bro. We'll get to my DMs in a bit, or just in general how I talk to girls. But let's continue, because basically from this part here, give it 3 to 5 years. Basically 3 to 5 years. And if you think about moving in with a girl, at least wait until the honeymoon phase is over. That's about a year and a half. After a year and a half, then consider moving in with her. We'll talk about the hidden cost of moving in with a girl or boy in a bit.
Did you catch all that? She said marriage was a sport. She would get into marriages with men as a sport. It was a game she was playing. And this woman was saying that a lot of women don't know the game of how to fool a high value man and cash in on the divorce. I've said this so many times. You have a lot of the women trying to level up. You have them gravitating towards the spaces where the high value men are because they're looking for advice from the men on how to fool them. I told you about the so-called level up queens. She's a perfect example of what I've been talking about the whole time.
Especially if you're a professional, because a lot of times as professional women, we lead with our education instead of leading with our heart or with our, I guess, sexuality in a way. So a lot of women, they cannot get married to the man they want. And so, I mean, I kind of figure out the formula for it. I mean, you know, I can teach y'all if you want me to, but that'll be another service. But yeah, one thing is with marriages, I mean, when you look to marry someone, you also want to see them as someone you can possibly divorce. And in a positive way.
Wow, wait. Say that again. Say that again.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Okay. Actually, to be honest, that kind of makes sense. Listen, hear me out. You plan with the end in mind, right? You know how people might do some type of investment, like in the index fund or S&P 500? We typically know the growth is maybe, I think, anywhere from 7 to 10% on a good day, right? It's slow growth, but it's usually long-term, it'll be positive, right? But then you have other investment strategies like Forex day trading, right? When you're betting against a currency of a country either dropping or rising, and that can garner you quick cash, right? Quick capital, but the risks are also high, right? So we should treat relationships like Forex.
I know, I'm pissing everybody off tonight. That's my job.
Why? Plan with the end in mind. You're about to get married to this person. What would you do if they cheated on you? What's your mindset with that? Right? My mindset is basically, don't let me catch you. If I find out, that's it. I'm not gonna chase you. I'm not gonna get at the next man. You're a player. Shout out to you. You were able to do your thing. Respect, and I'm out. Basically, right? Or in the case of even moving in with a girl or a guy, right? If you guys broke up, what's the game plan? Are you gonna move out, or is she gonna move out? Will you be able to afford the rest of the rent payment by yourself without her income? Right? These are the questions. There's also the possibility of becoming a common law couple, depending on your state or where you live. I believe in Canada anyways, it's about 2 years. After you're living with someone for 2 years, you guys are low-key now a married couple just about the vehicle certificate.
Ask you, a buddy of mine had just moved in with his gal, and he was wondering, I'm wondering actually, if when he would have, when he gets legal obligation over her,
okay.
What time period was that?
So when people don't marry, if they live together continuously for more than 3 years, there is a spousal support potential obligation. She would have the right on separation to claim spousal support. If they live together for 3 years less a day, she does not.
Really?
3 years or 3 years and more, she does. So that 3-year magic date is very important. Or if they live together in any type of relationship of permanence as a result of which they have a child together, there's an automatic spousal support obligation that can arise, and there's obviously a child support obligation. Property is a little more complicated. When you're not married, there are no automatic rights or entitlement to property. The mere fact that you live together does not generate a property obligation unless you buy things in joint names or put them in joint names. But the big concern is 3 years continuous cohabitation. That gives rise to a potential spousal support obligation. The way to avoid it, cohabitation agreement that says, despite the passage of 3 years, no spousal support. Sign that before they start to live together, not the day before the 3 years.
Right.
Not sign this or you have to move out. That's called duress. Full financial disclosure, proper independent legal advice.
And then will your landlord allow another tenant to move in place of your boyfriend or girlfriend? Like, these are the questions you gotta be asking yourself. Y'all gotta have this whole discussion before moving in together, so you know exactly, okay, if you break up, this is what's gonna happen. This is a general idea of what's gonna happen. And you don't just like go with the whim. You don't just go with the love. It's all love. And next thing you know, you're living with someone you don't really like that no more. There might be some animosity, some tension. And I've seen some Reddit stories. I even made a video about this, right, a while ago. But there's a Reddit story. I read a Reddit story about a girl who was, she and her boyfriend had broke up, and there was still 8 months left in their lease. Listen, bro.
Sorry, man.
I'm gonna tickle you again.
Wouldn't let that shit happen to me, though.
Just know that breaking up with someone is infinitely more difficult when you live together. And this situation is prevalent all throughout Reddit and Quora answer forums. Not to bore y'all with too much text, but essentially, she's been with her boyfriend for 2 years and she wants to break up with him, but they have 9 months left on their lease. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough. Why would you do this to yourself?
I don't understand why you even did this to yourself.
Always, 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 always. You gotta plan for the worst, but expect the best. The perfect mix of optimism and pessimism. There is still 8 months left in their lease and they broke up. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously with marriage, talk about the prenup, talk about, okay, if you break up, what's gonna happen with that? I think post-nup is more if like the financial situation of the guy or girl changes substantially, then you just adjust it to be more fair. You know what I'm saying? But it's just important to not go into relationships with rose-colored glasses. Oh, this is my twin flame. She won't ever do me wrong. She won't ever cheat on me. He won't ever cheat on me. And blah 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 blah.
I am a clown. I am a clown.
You know, a healthy bit of pessimism goes a long way. You know, expect the best, but plan for the worst. That is a quote that I really hold true, and it really grounds me in some realism, but also doesn't make me too pessimistic about opportunities out there in the world. You know what I'm saying? But I digress.
When you get married to someone, you want to see them as someone you're able to divorce. As in, you don't want to get married to an and he's going, you know, they're just going to divorce. I mean, like rape you. I meant to say through a divorce. You want to get someone that you know kind of where their heart is, where their mind is. So if things should go left, you don't have to worry about turning into a vicious kind of person, even though things do happen. But yes, all of the husbands I married, I kind of figured it would be easy to divorce because I knew they were decent men to, begin with.
You see, she targeted nice guys or men that she thought she could easily get over on. I say it all the time. A lot of these women looking for marriage that are unqualified for marriage, for whatever reason that disqualifies them, they are looking for suckers. Before she even considered being with them, she was already thinking about the marriage and the divorce. She never had good intentions. On top of that, she was promoting that she's starting a YouTube channel, and I'm assuming that she's willing to teach this to other women. You see, a lot of you're about to get played. You have not fully vetted the person that you're dealing with. You may have a chameleon on your hand. And then some of you've already been fooled, and she's waiting for the perfect time to finish out her plan. She's telling women that she's figured out the formula to divorce R-word men and get over on them.
Listen, bro. Listen to me.
It's ridiculous. It's obvious what's being done out here. It's on a nightly basis. I hope the world can see now what's really going on out here, because it's getting ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. Yes, man. This is ridiculous, man. Ridiculous.
Listen, why are you still planning dates with a girl that's canceled on you back-to-back times? Or a guy that's canceled on you twice, back-to-back? Why are you still trying to make plans with this person? Why are you still going on dates with a girl that never kissed you on a first date? doesn't even want to hold your hand, bro. Listen.
I can understand why you think it would take a lot of energy, but it really doesn't. You're out here just like multi-dating. Like, we don't catch feelings. We're not giving them a ton of energy. That would not be running your roster appropriately. That is you trying to be in a relationship with multiple men, and that's not what we're trying to do. Right now, what we're trying to do is just have a roster. So what I like to do, I have my roster broken down. So I have a roster of men that I like to do fun shit with, and then I also have a roster of men that I like to have sex with, basically. Not every man is on both lists, okay? There are some men who just I like to have fun with, and then there are men who I just only have sex with. There are some men that are in the middle. The men who are in the middle are typically in the starting 5, okay? And I know you're probably like, what does that mean? That means that they are playing. That means that I can do fun stuff with them. I can also have sex with them and have a good time all the way around. They're, well-rounded. Now, the men who are, either or, they're usually probably a bench player.
Hey, man, maybe my approach is not for everybody, but basically, for me, right, if I'm going on a date with a girl, usually I'll do like a little, let me see the fit real quick, look a 360, and I'm holding her hand, right? Let me see the fit real quick, look a 360, okay, cool, I see you, I'm holding her hand. If it doesn't hold my hand, that's already a red flag. Her interest level isn't really that high. So we have high interest, medium interest, and literally no interest, right? It's basically the equivalent of a gay guy trying to get with a straight male, right? That's the level of interest. So if you're not willing to hold my hand, I'm already like, okay. And then usually when I'm about to go in for the kiss or something, I'll be like, yo, why are you looking at me like that? I'm like, what? Looking at you like what? You look like you want to kiss me, right? Just to get to the conversation, or I might be like, so obviously it's like building small baby steps, right? You don't just go for the kiss, like holding hands, sitting beside each other, you're like by each other, wherever you're sitting, and then you gradually build up to that, right? And be like, yo, I'm holding your hand, right? Holding your hand, my arm is around her waist. I'm like, yo, close your eyes. I'm like, for what? I'm about to kiss you. Basically, stuff like that, right? So if there's no hand holding, no kissing on a first date, usually for me anyways, y'all might be a little bit different, right? But I usually dead the interaction after that. I'd be like, just text me when you get home safely, so I know you got home safely. Walk her back to her car, or walk her back to a public place where she knows is familiar, and just text me when you get home safely, and then that's it. I'm not seeing her again. But as far as like even the DMs, right? Let me show y'all real quick. Basically,
I didn't want to say nothing, but how can I keep myself from stunting? I don't want to play no games or say no names, but it's all or nothing. I don't need stress, got all of my bros. Grew up in Mitcham, already know. I just need checks, I don't need hoes. Keep it interesting.